For cheap games, check out g2a.com, link in the description.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty.
Let's all just agree there's any game that you can kill somebody with a push bike, it's my kind of game. It's just that simple. So today we're going to talk about the sniping in general, and one of the games that it's out there, Heroes and Generals, is one of the games where sniping does actually matter. You know, you just can't be up on a hill somewhere and you're not really affecting your team, because you do. I mean, sure, you can play skirmish, you can play encounter, you can play assault, and it doesn't really affect the team as much because everybody kind of starts off with the same sort of resources. You don't really have to worry about it too much. I mean, while it's nice of you to sort of help the team and go for the objectives and things like that, in war, it's really where it matters. In war, you're only going to start off with so many resources. You're not going to have that many. For those of you that have been playing sort of a lot of Battlefield, think of them as tickets. So you're not going to have that many resources. You're only going to have, say, 20 snipers. Now, if it's 4 snipers on your team or 6 snipers on your team, and they die 19 times, then that's it. It's gone, because you're going to be the last one. So if you've died once as well, then that's it. You're out of the game. You can't just come back and play it again. You're going to be kicked out. Your resources are going to be depleted. And unless you get reinforced, then you're not going to be playing that game for very much longer, because you are going to be kicked out. So it does make a difference if you're going to play the game right, or if you're going to play the game wrong. Now, like I said, if you just want to mess around and you're not really bothered about what's going on, and you're not going to PTFO and you're going to go and help the team and things like that, then you should just go ahead and just play assault or just play skirmish. It doesn't, like I said, it does, but it doesn't really affect anything. You'll have a lot more tickets, a lot more resources, so you get to play around and mess around with things like that, and you're not really affecting the whole war. I mean, Heroes and Generals is one of those games where spawn killing, it's actually a thing. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, what's going on? What do you mean spawn killing is a thing? Well, it is, because in the bigger sort of scope of things, you will get resources. And by killing, it, say, the Russians or the German resources, you are going to get more and more done for your team. So whenever you get to sort of that last flag and you push them back and you've got that last bit to capture, try not to capture it, because you want to be killing as many as you can of them. Kill their vehicles, make sure they spawn all their vehicles, they deplete all their vehicles, they deplete their lives and resources and things like that, because in the long picture of the war, that really helps the war. So you should be taking out as many resources as you can of them. And yes, them resources, that means spawn killing them, or killing them as much as you want before they give up, they rage quit, or somebody's always going to be in there who's going to go and try and capture. But really, you should make an effort to try and kill as many as you can of them, because it's going to help out the war in general if you're playing the war mode. If you're just playing skirmish and things like that, then assault, it doesn't really affect the war. But in the war, things are a little bit different. That's kind of what I liked about Heroes and Generals. You know, it's been, what, 5 years? It started out as a browser game. It's been the beta for 4 years or whatever. It's been on Steam for a year or 2 or something like that, maybe even more. But I think that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back to play the game. Like I've mentioned in previous video, I don't play it every day, but I do play a couple of weeks here and there when updates are coming on and things that sort of changed, maps are going to be redesigned. Now, basically what really needs to happen in Heroes and Generals, there needs to be sort of more maps, more weapons, more things like that. I mean, they've got some planes, they also have some tanks, you know, they get in there, but it's just going to take time, and it's a free-to-play game, so obviously things are not going to happen every month, but when they do come out with a big update and tons of other things for you to sort of try out and play and do things like that. And I heard there's an optimization sort of patch coming up in the next couple of weeks, so they are getting there. It's just going to take a bit of time. It is a free-to-play game, so they're not going to have an update coming up every day, but they will get there in time. Now, before we move on to the sniping and a bit more info on the sniper, let's just take a second here and just check this out. I mean, that guy never even landed. It was just beautiful, that was. Oh, and you sit down, Mr. Tanker. There's no need for you to be shooting at me like that. I'll be taking this objective. This is mine. Now, getting back into the sniping. Sniping in Heroes and Generals, it is a little bit different than what you expected from, say, Battlefield or any other game that you play. It is a bit more realistic. It's a bit more, you can't just sort of rush in and expect to do well with it, and then you can't really camp at the back too much because you get hated by your team a lot. You know, you're not going to be sort of no good to anybody just camping up on a hill. But then again, at the same time, you don't want to be pushing in too aggressive, because you will die and you'll lose your resources, and then you'll not be able to do anything because you'll get kicked out of the game because you've depleted your resources. Now, how do you sort of get in between? You know, you just have to be getting in between. You have to be an aggressive recon to a certain point, but you have to be careful at the same time as well not to deplete those tickets. Now, nobody really wants you on a hill, especially when it comes down to war, and war is mostly what I'm going to cover, because the other game modes don't really affect anybody that much, so war is the game that you want to be learning. When you go into war, it's all about capping flag, it's all about the resources, it's all about you not being greedy. Now, instead of me having that anti-tank grenade, I could have simply just had grenades to help myself. I could have had a pistol, so I can have that quick little secondary fire if somebody's jumping up on me, or somebody's got the jump on me, or somebody's sort of trying to get me and I've shot that shot and I didn't get him. I could just switch to my pistol really quick, but that would be sort of greedy as a sniper, because I was just sort of trying to get things done for myself, not for the team. Now, you're best off as a sniper, you're going to be a little bit away from the objectives, but you still try and protect them as much as you can and give your troops cover. Now, as much cover as you can give them, as much enemies that you can take them down, kill them all, they will not go and take that objective while you boys are trying to take that objective. In the end, being a good recon player in Heroes and Generals is just about you working together with your team. There is a chat out there for you to talk, and there is a chat for you to work together with people. Now, you're going to have to be faced with a choice that every single player that's just gone up to, was it level 5 or something like that, where you're actually allowed to play a war, and you're going to have somebody in your squad that doesn't give orders, and he doesn't know how to do it, he might not be allowed, or he might not be sort of getting to that point. Just bear with him, he's trying to learn, just tell him a couple of things, give him a couple of pointers, and he will get there, and he will learn the way of the Force, as it were. He'll learn the way as he should be playing this. Another thing you should be aiming to do really quick is take somebody else's rifle. Now, I know you've put in quite a bit of money into getting yourself a good rifle, and you want to be using it, and you know that your rifle's deadly as it can be, and it could be a one-shot kill rifle, but at the same time, you don't want to be paying any money for it at the end of the round. Now, one of the things that you should do is, once you kill the enemy recon, he's probably done the same thing as you. He's put in the best scope, the best attachments, chrome mollies, you know, barrels, stainless steel. He's put in the best, the bullets, everything is just going to be the best out there. So chances are, it's just going to be another good rifle, just the same as yours, but at least come the end of the round, you're not going to be paying any money for it because you've not used your own rifle. Most of the times I end up going and paying a couple of thousand, 1, 2, maybe 3,000, while I'm making 15, 20,000 credits each round. Another thing that you should want to do is, the most important thing is, get yourself one of the most important badges in the game. Get this as quick as you can, is camouflage badge. The camouflage badge is going to make things so much easier for you, because there simply isn't any kill cam. By them not being able to see where you are, you could do so much more damage to the enemy team staying camouflaged and staying in cover. While they can't discover you, you can do a lot of damage to them and keep them guessing to wherever you are. At the end of the day, being a good recon in Heroes and Generals, it's all about positioning, getting into a right spot, and if need be and you need to get into an objective, get your hands dirty, pick up somebody else's kit, get in there, do as much damage as you can, protect that flag, and that's that. Don't just sit up on a hill, because you're not going to be doing nobody too much good, and chances are you might get road killed a couple of times by somebody that you can clearly see that you're not really helping. By getting 3 kills and dying twice and whatever, you're not really done too much for the war, so you should always try and help out as much as you can, because that's what war mode is all about. Now, if you're wondering what kind of setup I'm running for this rifle, we'll start off with the ammunition. I'm using the Match 72 because it gives you less sway at longer ranges. If I use a short scope, I'll go for the Bertie Clay. As for my sight, I have the 8x scope. A trigger, I don't actually bother with a trigger. The internal, I'm running a heavy bolt. And for my barrel, I'm running the chrome molly. That's kind of my setup for this. And I was quite lucky, because a couple of months back there was a test before or after squad update where they gave you sort of 20,000 gold in a sort of private server, but you didn't keep that money, but they said if we get good enough feedback we'll give you that money to yourself. So they actually did. So I did get blessed with 20,000 gold, so I'm going to be buying some new planes and some new stuff. I know they've added in some planes where you can actually have a fat gunner now. For the US is the Owl, so I'm going to be trying that. So that's it for me for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one.